Most older men have no idea that when a woman flirts, it doesn't always look like flirting. In fact, they often miss the signs entirely. Just last week, a 67-year-old widower told me something that broke my heart. "I think I'm invisible to women now." But the truth is, he's not invisible at all. In fact, 3 different women had flirted with him just that month, and he didn't recognize a single one of their signals. If you're over 60 and feeling like women don't notice you anymore, here's some surprising news. They probably notice you more than you think. Women at this stage of life are incredibly skilled at subtle flirting, especially through conversation. They ask very specific questions that seem harmless, but they're actually powerful tools for sizing you up as a potential partner. These aren't just polite exchanges, they're quiet tests. While you might think she's just being friendly, she's actually evaluating whether you're someone she could share her life with. So in this video, I'm going to break down the 5 questions women ask when they're interested, and show you how to recognize, interpret, and respond to each one like the confident, attractive man you truly are. And trust me, question number 5, it will completely change how you think about flirting after 60. Here's the truth that rarely gets talked about. Romance doesn't retire. Research shows that 67% of people over 60 are actively looking for companionship. And unlike younger generations, women our age are often more open, more intentional, and more sincere in their approach. The real issue? Many men have simply forgotten how to spot the signals. After years of marriage, loss, or just being out of practice, it's easy to miss the cues. But women over 60 have developed a different kind of flirtation, less playful, more purposeful. It's smart, subtle, and if you know what to look for, incredibly revealing. So let's dive in. I'll explain the psychology behind each question, give you the exact kind of responses that spark connection, and teach you the body language signs that confirm she's genuinely interested. And before we begin, hit that like button if you've ever second-guessed whether a woman was flirting with you. And drop a comment if you've heard any of these questions before. You may just realize she was more than polite. Now let's dive in. Question 1. Are you enjoying retirement? The first question might sound like polite small talk, but it's actually a masterclass in strategic flirting. When a woman asks, "Are you enjoying retirement?" she's not just making conversation, she's conducting a sophisticated interview about your lifestyle, availability, and future potential. From a psychological standpoint, this question serves 3 purposes. First, she's gauging your financial stability without being direct. A man who's enjoying retirement suggests he's planned well and has resources. Second, she's assessing your availability. If you're busy with fulfilling activities, you're attractive. If you're bored and lonely, that's less appealing. Third, she's testing your attitude toward this life stage. Are you embracing it or resenting it? Let me share a story that illustrates this perfectly. Last month, I witnessed this exact scenario at a community center. A distinguished woman named Sophia struck up a conversation with Carl, a 68-year-old widower. She asked about his retirement, and Carl's response was devastating. "Oh, it's okay, I guess. Lots of time on my hands. Not much to do, really." The conversation died right there. Sophia made a polite excuse and walked away. Now contrast that with how David responded to the same question from Linda at a coffee shop. When she asked about his retirement, David smiled and said, "You know, I thought I'd be bored, but I'm busier than ever. I'm learning photography, volunteering at the animal shelter, and just started a woodworking project that's driving me crazy in the best way. How about you? Are you retirement age or still conquering the business world?" Notice what happened there. He showed passion, purpose, and turned the question back to her. The body language that accompanies this question is crucial. If she's leaning in slightly, maintaining eye contact, and seems genuinely interested in your answer, not just waiting for her turn to talk, she's flirting. If she asks follow-up questions about your activities, that's even stronger confirmation. Here are 3 response strategies that create attraction. The passion approach. Share something you're genuinely excited about, but don't monopolize the conversation. The mystery approach. Give an intriguing hint about your activities that makes her want to know more. The engagement approach. Answer briefly, then ask about her experiences or opinions. The key is to show that retirement isn't about winding down. It's about finally having time for what truly matters. Women find this energy and purpose incredibly attractive. Question 2. Do you cook for yourself? Here's where it gets interesting. When a woman asks, "Do you cook for yourself?" she's not wondering about your culinary skills. She's conducting a stealth assessment of your independence, domestic capabilities, and potential for shared intimate experiences. This question reveals so much while seeming completely innocent. At our age, women have spent decades managing households, and they're not looking for another project. They want to know, are you self-sufficient? Can you take care of yourself? More importantly, are you the type of man who could share domestic responsibilities in a partnership? Cooking is inherently intimate. When she asks this, she's subtly imagining sharing meals, cooking together, and creating those cozy domestic moments that define mature relationships. Let me tell you about two very different responses I observed. At a bookstore cafe, Nancy asked Larry about his cooking habits. Larry's response was typical. "Not really. I mostly eat out or heat up frozen dinners. My wife used to do all the cooking." The conversation shifted immediately. Larry had just signaled that he was domestically helpless and still emotionally tied to his past. Compare that to how Samuel handled the same question when Patricia asked him at a farmer's market. Samuel grinned and said, "I've become quite the weekend chef. Actually, last Sunday I made this incredible seafood risotto. Took me 3 tries to get it right, but it was worth it." I love experimenting with new recipes, though I have to admit my smoke alarm has become my kitchen timer. Are you one of those natural cooks, or do you enjoy the adventure of trying new things too? Notice how he showed confidence, humor, and vulnerability while turning it back to her. The body language cues here are subtle but telling. If she's asking while looking at you with a slight smile, especially near food or in a domestic setting, she's flirting. If she follows up with cooking questions or shares her own experiences, she's definitely interested. Response strategies. The competent approach. Show you can handle yourself but aren't rigid. The learning approach. Share that you're developing new skills and enjoying the process. The sharing approach. Mention that you enjoy cooking for others or would love to cook with someone special. Avoid saying you can't cook at all. Talking extensively about your ex-wife's cooking. Bragging excessively, she's wondering, are you someone I could build a comfortable life with? Question 3. Are you close to your family? Now we're getting into deeper territory. This is a crucial emotional intelligence test. This question reveals your capacity for relationships, emotional availability, and potential as a long-term partner. Women understand that family relationships are the blueprint for all other relationships. She's trying to understand how you treat loved ones, handle conflict, and balance independence with connection. Let's compare 2 responses. At a senior center dance, Helen asked Raymond about his family. Raymond said, "Oh, my kids barely call anymore. My daughter lives across the country, and my son is too busy. Family doesn't mean much these days." Helen's interest visibly deflated. Contrast that with Walter, who told Grace at a wine tasting, "I'm blessed with great kids and grandkids. We're close, but not clingy, if you know what I mean. I love that they've built their own lives, and I love being part of it when they want me around. Family's important, but I've learned there's room in life for many different kinds of love. How about you?" Response strategies. Balanced. You love your family but have room for romance. Growth. Your relationships have evolved positively. Wisdom. Share what family has taught you. Open. You're open to expanding your circle of love. She's really asking, are you emotionally available and capable of healthy relationships? Question 4. What keeps you busy these days? This is a lifestyle compatibility test disguised as small talk. She's gauging whether you're actively engaged with life, learning, contributing, and social, while still having space for someone special. Let's compare 2 men. Dennis said, "Not much really. I watch a lot of TV, do some grocery shopping. Pretty quiet life. Conversation over." Michael said, "Oh, I'm learning Spanish, volunteering at the literacy center, and doing bird photography. Just last weekend, I hiked 5 miles to get a shot of a rare warbler. I'm also helping my neighbor restore a classic car. What about you? Response categories that build intrigue: learning, service, creativity, physical activity, social connections. She's asking, could I build an interesting, fulfilling life with you? Question 5. How do you stay so positive? This is the most sophisticated flirting question of them all. It's a compliment, a test, and an invitation. She's seen something in you that radiates resilience and joy, and she wants to know the story behind it. Here's a poor answer from Alan. Oh, I'm not that positive. Life's been pretty tough. Just trying to get through it. Eugene's answer. You know, I learned something important a few years ago. I can't control what happens to me, but I can control how I respond. Every challenge has taught me something. Every loss has made me more grateful. Joy is a choice I make daily. What about you? How do you stay so positive? Response strategies. Wisdom. Share a meaningful life lesson. Gratitude. Talk about what keeps you thankful. Growth. Explain how challenges made you better. Choice. Emphasize positivity as an intentional act. She's really saying, I'm attracted to your energy. Help me understand your heart. Flirting after 60 isn't about playing games. It's about connection, curiosity, and confidence. When a woman asks these 5 questions, she's not just being polite. She's opening a door. Whether you're newly single, divorced, or widowed, these are opportunities to build something meaningful again. So the next time a woman asks about your retirement, your cooking, your family, your daily life, or your attitude, pause, smile. Recognize the moment for what it is. She's not just asking a question, she's starting a conversation that could lead to something truly special. If this video helped you see flirting in a new light, please like, share, and subscribe. And in the comments, let me know, have you heard any of these questions lately? You might realize now that someone was more interested than you thought. Until next time, remember, it's never too late for love.